Celtics. I said Celtics. Well, yeah, just go to that. I wasn't. That wasn't them. I'm not gonna lie. Am I shocked? I'm okay. I thought that he would win a game. I just didn't think they would win it in Boston. Are the Heat gonna? Are they, bro? They broke their franchise record and hit 23 threes. Are they gonna do that every game? No. Am I expecting Jaime Jaquez to shoot a lot of threes? Am I expecting Caleb Martin? I think Caleb Martin had like 20 points. Am I expecting him to drop 20 points again? No. Tyler Hero did have a bounce back game. I'm gonna give him that because he did not play good in game one. He didn't. But the Heat, Heat culture, they're gonna fight. They're gonna try and bully you. They're gonna do all that. But at the end of the day, at least against Boston, Boston is just a more talented team. And I don't expect Kristaps Porzingis to go 1 for 9 again. And I don't know what the game plan was. I saw like it was in the fourth quarter. They did the same play like 5 times in a row. All they did was do high pick and roll with Tyler Hero and Bam. And either Tyler Hero was able to get to the hole or shoot a three, or Bam was just able to hit that automatic mid-range mid-range. That's all they did, at least in that fourth quarter. But that's how I always say this, and I'll be like, when you keep like a weaker team in the game, they're gonna find a way to win. And that's what Boston did. They kept them in the game. They didn't take them out the game like they did in game one and blew them out in the first quarter. No, Miami Heat fought in this game. They stayed with them all the way until they took the lead, and Boston just couldn't come back. You didn't get nothing from Drew Holiday, but I didn't expect that. He's not this prolific scorer like how he was a couple of years ago or even last year. Derek White did what he was supposed to do. He hit some clutch threes in the fourth. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I mean, they were good. Jaylen Brown was good in the first half. He was really good. He scored 21 points. He didn't do nothing in the second, and same with Jason Tatum. They need to take advantage of their size because they really don't have nobody on the Heat to guard him. They just don't have that. They need to try and go to the hole, but they're going to die by the three. They're going to shoot, die by the three. But Porzingis got to give me more. He can't be giving me 9 points. If he gives me anything, they win that game. But give credit to Miami Heat for stealing the game on the road and having home court back.
Yeah, I think just Miami. I think how bad Miami has been playing offensively, they were definitely due for a good game. Not that good of a game, but I mean, I just want to say with the Tyler Hero, Bam pick and roll, they finally figured something out that actually gets Bam going and gets him in the game offensively. That's great. That's amazing. You need that because Tyler Hero, him just trying to do it all by his lonely, his offense is the best offense they have, but it's just, it's Tyler Hero. You already know what's coming with him. So it's real easy to game plan for the guy that's out there. And they brought in Terry Rozier that was supposed to help, but then, life happens, injuries happen. So it's really easy to game plan to cut off the head of the snake, Tyler Hero. And then Bam, I don't see what other people see in Bam. Like he's a good defensive power forward that plays center, but his offensive game is just so inconsistent and it's not threatening. But I do think that having like Tyler Hero, going out there, getting him involved, if the pick and roll works, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's the playoffs, so you got to improve on it because once you show your card, they have to make the adjustments and make the change. I think the Heat they caught a crazy burner. They caught a crazy burner. I think him and Hackaz, oh my goodness, he's definitely one of the premier star rookies. I think he's like I think the list was Wemby, Brandon Miller, and what was the other standout rookie this season? Brandon Miller, Chet. Yeah. I think him and Hackaz is definitely like one of those. Maybe he's like 4 or 5. He definitely deserves to be, honorable mention. Because he's been really good this playoffs. He hasn't been amazing. I think definitely he finds himself a little bit better. I like when he shows his flashes of being aggressive, going to the basket, taking a hole, hitting the shots. I think him hitting his shots definitely will, build the confidence that like I don't always have to drive and like because that shit ain't gonna work. Because whatever fouls he be expecting, it clearly they're not gonna call it. It's the playoffs. Like you should more so expect to not hit a whistle than to hear it in the playoffs. And I think once they get that little, to get that little click, things flow a little bit better. The Miami Heat, if I have to bet on any underdog team to win a game or win 2 games, I'm putting my rent on Miami because they will find a way. And without having Jimmy Butler, shit, they still found a way. They won a game before Philly. They won a game before the Suns. They won a game before the Lakers. So it's like you got it. You know how it is, man. You can. It's hard to bet against Miami. Like shit, it's hard to bet against them guys. They're a nuisance. And I think the Celtics, yeah, they lost the game. They ain't take it too serious. But it's the Celtics. They're still gonna win the series. I think it is what it is with them.
The Celtics need to win Game 3. They do not want to give the Heat like all this confidence because obviously the Heat they thinking, hey man, we played these guys 4 years in a row. We beaten them twice in the last 3 years. We think we know we can beat them. We know we can beat them. And if we take Game 3 at home, we gotta have them boys shook. That's probably what they're thinking. We have them boys shook. The Celtics just gotta get. I think it ends in 5. Will I be shocked if they won a game at home? I would say if anything, they win Game 4. If anything, will I be shocked? No. If I would be shocked if they do win Game 3, though. I think the Celtics take that game, but I'm not expecting Jovic to hit 3 from 4 from 3. Caleb Martin 5 for 6. Tyler Hero, he did go 6 for 11. Jaime Jaquez 3 for 6. Hayward Highsmith 3 for 5. I'm just not expecting that. Like, if it takes you guys basically breaking a franchise record to win, that ain't that good, honestly. That's not that good. So I expect the Celtics to just beat them in 5. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Celtics do Celtic things and let them let the series go longer than it was. But they just hit more. They really just hit more threes than them. That's really what it was. They hit more threes than them. Yeah, you shot 53% from 3. I expect you to win.
That's been the narrative of basketball the past 5-7 years. You know, Greg Popovich said that back somewhere. The game has really turned into whoever can hit the most threes will win. I just want to look at Jason Tatum. Man, honestly, I like that he had more points, but they didn't win. I'm not really feeling this whole like passing, this whole like PG Jason Tatum I've been seeing. I don't want to see point guard Jason Tatum. I mean, I know he's been passing the ball a lot. I would like to see selfish. I would like to see him be a little bit selfish again, be a little bit more looking to find himself, his own shot than them guys. Because, like I always say, like, if Jaylen Brown has 30 and, you know, Tatum has, like, whatever, 20 or something, they lose the game. And that's clearly what just happened out here. I think Jaylen Brown had, like, 30 or something. And Tatum had, like, 28, and they lost. So, I think the Celtics, they just need to honestly just take it serious. Don't take these guys light because at this point, it's a rivalry. I mean, you've had the Celtics with Bron, and then you had to continue with these guys right here that be going back and forth the past like 3-4 years now. So it's like you got to take your rivals serious. You got to understand that they win one game, to them it feel like 2. So they on your head.
Celtics, if they can hit their threes, they'll win.
Yeah, they'll hit their threes. So what's next? Go ahead. Let's talk about the Bucks and Pacers. What do you think about for that series?
Bucks don't got nobody that can stop Pascal, and they really miss Giannis. Like Giannis, he's probably the only guy that can really stop Pascal. I don't really see Chris Middleton, and I saw that he has an ankle injury and he's uncertain for tomorrow. So there's not like you're basically your second best player isn't playing. Dame has been top 75 player in the first half. It's been undrafted player in the second half. He hasn't done anything in the second half. Rick Carlisle made adjustments. They're trying to put Nembhard on him, and Nembhard has been playing good on defense. Tyrese hasn't been good, but I saw somebody say he's just being like a traditional point guard. He's not being asked to score 20, 25 points, at least in these first 2 games. They're getting production from Pascal, Miles Turner. He's always been this type of player that can give you 20 points. He still don't rebound a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Nembhard gave you a good 20, but and Tyrese just being traditional. And this is why they brought in Pascal, because they knew they needed another scorer to go along with Tyrese. If they don't have Pascal, and if let's just say everything happened, they probably down 0-2. And then you're asking Tyrese off of basically a hurt hamstring to go out there and drop 20 again. He's not hasn't been doing that consistently since he's been hurt. But the Bucks, I feel like they just need more production from others. Like Chris Middleton, you only gave me 15, brother. You gotta do better than Bobby Portis. You only gave me 14. Brook Lopez, you did do good with 22. I'm cool with that. Once again, this bench, man. I'm always gonna say it. Jay Crowder, he's washed. Malik Beasley, not even gonna speak of him. I already know what he is. Pat Connaughton, he's just not it. Like, you really gotta depend on Dame to basically save you, and he just hasn't been good in the second half. If he plays good in the second half, there's a chance they win. But since they was in game one, they was up by so much, they didn't really need Dame to go off. But this game, they was in the game, but they needed Dame to go to play good again, and they didn't do it. Dame has to be better, at least in the second half. He has to be better in the second half. And I still got the Pacers winning in 7. I still think it's gonna be a tough series. This is one of the new rivalries, I guess. So I can see it still going 7, but I got Pacers winning still.
Yeah, I think it's probably been one of the better first round series. I mean, I think the other night, what was that like when that got to see the Knicks, that last second shot when I get to see Jamal win the game. I think this one's just like, man, it's like that first half has been really, really exciting. Yeah, I think Pascal is doing exactly what they brought him in for because he's one of the best half court. He's one of the best half court offensive players there is, especially with like they're giving him too much run. The Pacers, the Bucks are giving Pascal Siakam too much runway. He's gonna eat that each time. Like people forget, Pascal is a champion. He played the very important role for that Raptors to win, and he was a young guy doing it. So he's used to the heavy situation and what it means. So I really like that for him. Then you get Tyrese. Tyrese is definitely. I mean, honestly, I still would like to see Tyrese get 20-some points because it's just like he started off the season hot, and I think like honestly, when like it's about scoring, man. It's about scoring. Like I really wish you could see that scoring. But I think the Bucks, they just don't. They need Giannis. Like clearly, like Dame can do his thing and be special, but at the same time, it's like this team is built for Giannis. I want to say that Chris Middleton and that Dame pick and roll, it definitely reminded me a little bit. It definitely seems like Dame is way more comfortable doing a pick and roll with someone that could get a midi off, that could hit the three, that could do their own, get the space. So it just reminded me like the CJ and Dame combos. It definitely worked better with CJ and Chris Middleton than it does with the Dame and Giannis. Like it just doesn't work because like the teams, I think it's easier to just load up on defense.
Giannis doesn't do none of that stuff. That when he was in Portland, when he was in Portland, he was doing pick and roll with Nurkic. Nurkic, he could hit a mid range to an extent, but he can also do a push shot. Giannis doesn't do that. He's not gonna pull up for a mid range.
You call them push shots. You don't just say floaters.
It just depends. It just depends. A floater and like a push is it's low key kind of different to an extent, but he can do like a floater or a push. I think when you say a floater, I think that's for like a guard, but for a push shot, it's more of a big. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But he can do those bigs and those guards can do that. Giannis doesn't do that. He's just not that type of player. He's gonna try and run to the hole and try to dunk or lay it up. That's just not his game. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, so definitely, I just think though because like Giannis, he's going straight to the hole, so it makes the defense easier to load up. We could stop the passing lane. It's going to be a hard contested three if it gets back out to them. We know we're going to have somebody right there. I mean, it's easier because I'm going to allow you to beat me to get 2 points. You're not going to be able to get that 3 out. So I do think it make it easier for the defense to load up. But like playing with a Chris Middleton, yeah. It definitely like that's the pairing that works better with Dame.
He does it with Brook Lopez way more though.
Yeah, with Brook. Because Brook Lopez has more arsenal to shoot, do a little bit more. He's not gonna just drive you. Yeah, but I think it's the Bucks to lose. I think honestly it just makes more sense for the Bucks to lose than for them to win right now. Because even if the Bucks do win, I think honestly it's just gonna come back down to a problem. You're getting like this Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's gonna get a flare up again in the next series with that calf, that Achilles, whatever's going on with that. And it's just gonna be just the same thing. I think honestly, they just don't have the personnel. They don't have the personnel to truly win a championship
This
right
team
now.
is old.
Yeah, they're like they're the oldest team in the league at
This
29.
team is just not good. It's just
Yeah.
not a good team. I hope people don't hate that, but this team's just not good. They really were. They were third in the East, but they weren't dominant third. I said dominant third in the East. I feel like they never dominated nobody. Like you have Giannis and Dame, and y'all was barely winning games or giving up 140 points every time. You're not supposed to do that. This team's just not good. Pacers play at a way faster pace than them. They can't keep up with them. Like they just can't. If it takes Dame to drop 30 points in the first half, or drop like a high 25, and no one else gives you nothing, you're not going to win the game. As simple
Uh,
as that.
I think I'll say my Pacers take after I finish my Bucks take. I do think that it's way more beneficial for the Bucks to lose in the first round right now than actually go any further. I think it's just gonna expose more of like this team just they can out talent themselves out of bad situations, but they just don't have the personnel that they need. They're gonna have to move on from Chris Middleton. That's gonna be something that we know is coming. It's gonna happen. They have to figure out who's gonna take them. And I have to poach some other players. I always say, like, I think the best team to poach right now is the Nets. They got some great guys that a lot of teams want. And I think with the Pacers, I do want to say that, like, they did that first game. They definitely had flashes like, oh shit, are they just a really good regular season team? And I do think them coming out firing off like this that second game, the belief, the hype is back. Like, no, it wasn't just a fluke during the regular season. But it's like, I don't know. The Pacers still show like, even if they make it to the second round, I think they're just one of them teams that's like, I expect them to lose in like six. I still don't think this cast is ready. I think what Tyrese Halliburton is doing is just it's amazing, but he's gonna need some. He's gonna really need to be a true offensive threat for them to beat any of those teams in the second round. Like that's just the fact of the matter that it is. I just think the Pacers and Bucks, the Pacers match up good with them right now due to the Bucks having a shaky cast. And I don't think that says like, oh, I'm super amazing and great. It's kind of like the android beating up Goku when he had the heart disease. Like you're not really seeing him at his best. So I hope that doesn't give them a false sense of confidence that they can just keep this roster, that they can just repeat and not have to make any tweaks.
You talking about the Bucks?
Pacers.
Oh, the Pacers. Well, they're gonna have some cap space, so they can get another star if they want to. Do I think it happens? No, because nobody goes to Indiana, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But I agree though with you. I don't think Tyrese he needs to be a better scorer. If they do make it to the second round against either the Knicks or the Sixers, he's gonna have to score. Against the Bucks, it looks like you don't probably need Tyrese to score 20 plus. If you play at least give me 15, I think they can. I think they'll be all right with that.
I don't even think the way he's playing right now, I don't think he's good for 15. I don't think he is.
They probably don't need him to score, at least against the Bucks. They probably don't need him to score 15.
Yeah, I think Tyrese right now, 8 points in the first half. Shit, maybe 4 or 6 in the second half. Like the way he's playing offensively, that's just not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's not in the playoffs. It's not gonna work.